All right, guys, I don't normally do car repair write-ups or any kind of car repair video, but in case this can really help somebody out, I thought I would do just a quick walkthrough. This is a 2001 Infinti QX4, same thing as a 2001 Nissan Pathfinder. The alternator went out, and if you start searching around and looking on forums, you see that it can be a little bit of a pain. But if you take those for face value, you're going to end up beating your head up against the wall a little bit more. So I thought I could add to what's been done here, and that way, you know, maybe avoid somebody's wasting a lot of time like I did. First thing you're going to do is disconnect, take out the battery. That's where the battery goes. The next thing that I recommend, just to get you some room, it's 4 bolts. I think they're 10 millimeter. Is just take the fan clutch loose from the water pump. Go ahead and get that out of the way. You may have to take the fan shroud off first before you do that. And just a little tip, because this took me some time to figure out, it's a 2-piece fan shroud, and it's easiest if you pop the bottom part loose first. If you'll see, the bottom part's got these little clips, and that clips into the top part of the fan shroud. It's so much easier to pop those out if it's all still assembled. So slide up underneath there. You'll have to take off a splash guard, and then you'll have access to that and pop that off. Then you can come to the top. There's 2, I think it's 10 millimeter bolts at the top, and then you can pop that off and then maneuver that out. Then you that may make it easier for you to get the fan off. But take the fan off, man. It gives you so much more room to deal with, and it's only 4 bolts. All right, so what got me was I had this thing, I did the Houdini without taking the fan out, and I did not know that this guy is what bolts on the back of the alternator. I thought it was bolting into something hard, like maybe the alternator was threaded or something, but no, they've got one of these little nuts that goes on the back that holds that final bolt. So I got this thing all Houdini'd and gotten back together, and I couldn't get the final bolt to tighten. So I scratched my head, scratched my head, and scratched my head, and scratched it some more. And when I finally came to that realization, somebody said, well, just pull the 2 bolts off the power steering pump and move it to the side a little bit, and then you can get access to that nut. Well, I'm going to include a link to a video that I watched last night before I got into this. Basically, it shows you how to remove and replace the power steering pump, and it's literally like 2 bolts and 2 hose connections, and that's it. And then it just comes out, and it gives you so much more room down in here. Is where that alternator is. It's up underneath there, and see that gives you so much room to get it in and out, and you don't have to deal with playing Houdini to get the thing out. So literally I had all this stuff already taken apart. Forgot to tell you to take the belt off, but I did that as well, and the tensioner. But that gives you so much more room in there to work. So, you know, I would say that if you're not willing to take the power steering pump off to work on this, to have a mechanic do it. But I'm gonna finish this up, bolt this back up. That alone would have saved me 5 or 6 hours of dorking around with this thing. So hope y'all are well, and if I have anything else to add, I'll come and stitch it on the back end. Y'all take care. Okay, got her all back together. No leaks in power steering and all that. The one thing that I did have a little bit of trouble with was there's I guess this is what they call a capture nut. It's a nut, but it's got kind of like a piece of angle, like an L shape to it. I guess that's supposed to help you tighten and loosen it. And it's on the top back of the alternator. And it took me an hour or 2 to get that actually on there. And If your fingers are short like mine, you have a tendency to drop it, and then you got to get on the creeper and find it, and it's just a mess. So what I ended up doing was wrapping a piece of duct tape around it and left a long tail on it, and that way if I dropped it, I could fish it back out with that duct tape. That said, taking the power steering pump out is really the way to go. I don't know why more people don't do that. There is a torque wrench required to torque the high pressure hose, the banjo nut back down, but I had one of those already. In short, this probably would have taken me about 5 hours had I done that, and then without taking it out, it was taking me, I probably had another 10 or 12 in it, just trying to get it done. And I'm not a real great mechanic. If you're not comfortable with taking the power steering pump out, I'm going to include a link in the notes. And after watching that, you still don't want to do it, it's worth the $400 or $500 to have somebody just do it for you. It's just a really big hassle. But anyway, wanted to sum that up. That's the only other thing that I wanted to add to you. So good luck to you.